Hope all of us are doing fine. My name is Ernest, and this is Ernest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. In this particular discussion, I'm going to look at the second group of major families of the periodic table, and this is going to give us an overview of the specific characteristics that we're going to witness for the S and P block elements in that specific case. Now, in this particular discussion, I mentioned that I'm going to discuss on various properties. And these are going to form a general property for this specific family of the periodic table that we refer to as group 2. In this case, this is going to constitute of particular elements, which are going to be beryllium as the first one, and then we're going to see that also we're going to have another element of magnesium given as that. And then we're going to have another element of calcium given as such, and then we shall have strontium given as that, and then we shall have barium given as such, and the last one we shall have radium given as such. So these are going to constitute the group 2 elements, and of course we are going to see that they are going to form a range of metals which are going to be exhibiting some specific characteristics compared to group 1. And as we are going to see some of the characteristics like the charge, of course, and perhaps the density, melting and the boiling points are going to be relatively higher compared to group 1. And in that specific respect, therefore, we're going to have this one perhaps listed in a summary form. I've talked about the concept of the reactivity. Their reactivity is going to be relatively low compared to group 1. And of course, this is going to be given as a general property. Now, as I said, group 1 elements are going to be the most reactive set of these families of the periodic table. And of course, we're going to see that in comparison with the group 1, the group 2 elements are going to display a specific set of reactivity which is going to be relatively low compared to group 1. And these elements are going to be reactive to both air and water. And this was, of course, one of the trends which we had seen, or one of the characteristics which we had seen with the group 1 elements. Now they are going to form ions with a charge of positive 2, and this is going to be an additional of one charge as compared to group 1 elements, which we're going to form a charge of a positive 1 given as such. Now they are going to display or exhibit relatively low melting points and boiling points compared to group 1. And this, of course, is one of the characteristics which we have seen for reactivity and melting and boiling points. So this specific description for low melting and boiling point is in comparison with the group 1 elements which we had mentioned. So therefore, we're going to give them as such. And they're going to be soft physical characteristics. They're going to be soft, but of course, they're not going to be soft as compared to group 1. Therefore, they are going to be soft, but relatively harder compared to the group 1 elements, and they are going to exhibit a low density, of course, but their density is going to be as well higher compared to the group 1 elements. So if we try to look at these specific characteristics for the last one, for density, softness, the lower boiling, and of course melting point, and also the concept of their reactivity, they are going to be, of course, a comparison between the group 2 elements and the group 1 elements given as such. And of course, we had mentioned the concept of the reactivity with air and water. For group 1 elements, we had said that they are going to be flammable in air and water. And in this particular case, therefore, we're going to witness specific trends as we're going to transit from group 1 to group 2 elements insofar as their reactivity, the melting boiling point, their hardness or softness, and then their density. And that's going to be giving us a specific trend which is going to be assisting us do a comparison. Now in this case, I'm going to give a rough sketch of the periodic table, which is basically going to assist us identify at which specific points this particular set of group or family, major family of the periodic table lie. So the group 2 elements of the periodic table are going to be following, the group 1 are going to be preceding the group 2, in the sense that we're going to have these particular elements immediately follow this particular range of the green column that we're going to see. Now this one have been given in terms of gray, and we're going to see them being given in terms of descending order, or increasing this atomic number, ranging from this specific element of beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. And these are going to constitute what we refer to as alkaline earth metals. And of course, the first one is going to consist of the alkali. So the second one are going to be alkaline earth metals, whereas the group 1 elements are going to constitute the alkali earth metals in that specific order. So in case we come across them, we're going to also look at this specific aspect of our groups and try to see how they are going to relate with their immediate members of other groups in the specific set of periods for the groups, and of course the periods are given in this specific order. So in this case, these are going to constitute the group 2 elements, and they're going to be generally referred to as alkaline earth metals, and therefore we are going to see that one of the characteristics of these specific elements is that they're going to constitute a range of metals. So that is it for now. Kindly check our description boxes for various links, and also subscribe to our channel so that we can be having various similar or rather healthy discussion on various trends across the periodic table of elements. So that is it for now, guys. By God bless you. Catch us in our next video.